से कि आप हमारी इस प्रस्तुति को अपने आशीर्वचनों से करतल ध्वनि से एकदम सराहेंगे। तावत शुभम अस्तु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Grant, for briefing the program for us. Rabindranath Tagore said, "Let me not pray to be sheltered from dangers, but to be fearless in facing them. Let me not beg for the stilling of my pain, but for the heart to conquer it." Chandalika, one of the dance dramas by Rabindranath Tagore, based on a Buddhist legend. Much has been said about the way Tagore views his women in his poems, essays, novels, and dramas. Yet, it is the dance drama of Tagore, a genre quite unique in his time, which portray the radical nature of Tagore's conception of women and the maturation of their selfhood. Among the dance dramas of Tagore, Chandalika has a special place as it foregrounds the theme of female desire of an untouchable girl, a tabooed subject in his times. The theme of the play being to free the present, the now, and make it part of the eternal time. To present the play before you, I would like to call upon on stage the students of classes 7, 8, and 9. The drama has been directed by Mr. Manu Smith Rana, who is also a theatre artist and a film director. Two of the frogs fell in milk. One being a lazy one, he swam for some time and then he thought, "It's useless. Why swim and waste my energy? I have to die. So let me die." He drowned and he died. But the second frog, he kept on swimming continuously. After 1.5 hours, you know what happened? Any guesses? The milk turned into curd because it became fat, and the frog jumped out and he was saved. This is what I want all of my students to learn. It's hard work that they should do always. Do not quit. Do not be afraid of the failures that you face, because after every failure, there is a huge success story that everybody has to share.
Hello.
Chandalika. This short drama is based on the following Buddhist legend. Ananda, the famous disciple of the Buddha, was one day returning from a visit when he felt thirsty and approaching a well on the way, asked for water from a Chandalika, a girl belonging to the lowest untouchable caste. The girl gave him water and fell in love with a beautiful monk. Unable to restrain herself, she made her mother, who knew the art of magic, work her spell on him. The spell proved stronger than Ananda's will, and the spellbound monk presented himself at their house at night. But as he saw the girl spread the couch for him, he was overcome with shame and remorse and prayed inwardly to his master to save him. The Buddha heard the prayer and broke the magic spell, and Ananda went away as pure as he came.
This crude plot of the popular tale showing how the psychic power of the Buddha saves his devotee from the lust of a Chandal girl has been transformed by the poet into a drama of spiritual conflict. It is not a story of a wicked girl roused to lust by the physical beauty of the monk, but of a very sensitive girl condemned by her birth to a despised caste who is suddenly awakened to a consciousness of her full right as a woman by the humanity of a follower of the Buddha who accepts water from her hand and teaches her to to judge herself not by the artificial values that society attaches to the accidents of birth, but by her capacity for love and service.
Prakriti! Prakriti! Where has she gone? What ails the girl, I wonder? She's never to be found in the house.
Here, mother. Here I am.
Where?
Here, by the well.
Whatever will you do next? Past noon and a blistering sun, and the earth too hot for the feet? Yet you sit and roast in the Vaishak sun for no reason at all. There's a story in the Purana about how Uma did penance in the burning sun. Is that what you are about?
Yes, mother. That's it. I am doing penance
Good heavens! And for whom?
for someone whose call has come to me.
What call is that?
Give me water. He said the words echoing in my heart.
Oh, he went defend us. He said to you, give me water. Who was it? Was it someone of our own caste?
That's what he said, that he belonged to our kind.
Did you tell him that you are a Chandalini?
I told him, yes. He said, if the black clouds of the Shravana are dubbed Chandal, what of it? It doesn't destroy the virtue of their water. Don't humiliate yourself. He said, self-humiliation is a sin, worse than self-murder.
This is a great revelation for her, which she calls a new birth. For she is washed clean of her self-degradation and rises up a full human being with her right to love and give. And since her own self is the most she can give, and since none is more worthy of the gift of her surrender than the bhikshu who has redeemed, or as she puts it, created her, she yearns to offer herself to him.
It was the other day. It was blazing hot when a Buddhist monk came and stood before me in his yellow robes and said, "Give me water." My heart leapt with wonder. I started trembling and bowed before his feet without touching them. His form was radiant as the light of dawn. I said, "I am a Chandalini, and the well water is unclean." He said, "As I am a human being, so also are you, and all water is clean and holy that cools our heart and satisfies our thirst." For the first time in my life, I heard such words. For the first time, I poured water into the hands of a man, the very dust of whose feet I would never dare to touch.
Oh, you stupid girl! How could you be so reckless? There will be a price to pay for this madness. Don't you know what caste you were born in?
I gave him water, and it flowed, and my birth was washed clean, and my caste was drowned.
Do you even understand what you are saying?
He came to give me the honor of quenching man's thirst.
I can make nothing of your talk.
Blessed I am, says the flowers, who belongs to the earth. For I serve you, my God, in this my lowly home. Make me forget that I born of dust, for my spirit is free from it. When you bend your eyes upon me, my petals tremble in joy. Give me a touch of your feet and make me heavenly, for the earth must offer its worship through me.
Tell me plainly, what do you want?
I want to take this life of mine and lay it like a basket of flowers at his feet.
Who is he? What is his name?
His name is Ananda, the disciple of Lord Buddha.
mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee. O Buddha, mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee. O Buddha, mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee. O Buddha, mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee. O Buddha, mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee. O Buddha, mighty ocean of mercy, seer of knowledge, destroyer of sins and sufferings, solemnly I bow to thee.
But Ananda, detached from all earthly cares and immersed in his inner self, knows nothing of all this and passes by without recognizing Prakriti. She is humiliated and wounded in her newly awakened sensibility and determines to drag the monk to her doorstep.